and welcome to Tech with Heart. I am your host, Michelle-Calloway. Tech with Heart's all about empowering entrepreneurs to be successful in a rapidly changing digital environment. And today's topic is how you could show up on camera and experience the best version of your career and your life as possible. And with me, we have a very special guest. Her name is Patricia Stepler, and she is the CEO of Your Dream Power. And she's a mindset productivity coach who utilizes an innovative, proven three-step system, which we'll learn more about today, to help business leaders accomplish their dreams and live the life they want, well, with more time and more money freedom. Does that sound like something that you want to learn more about? Well, tune in with me today and welcome to the Tech with Heart stage. Patty.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for inviting me today.
I'm excited about hearing about this three-step system, but before we get into the actual system, tell me a little bit about why you're so passionate. Why is it important for business leaders to be getting on camera or stepping onto stages?
You know, I think there's a real leadership void in the world and in our country today. And one of the things that you can show leadership in whatever field you're in is by being willing to take the stage and to be able to speak. You know, I think it's something like, you know, more people would rather or fear less of death than they do public speaking. So, you know, there's got to be a lot of fears around that. And yet, you know, leaders go out there and they'll share, and it gives you the authority. You know, when you're willing to speak up and to be on the stage, you have that authority figure behind you, you know, that you're expressing to the world, and you're seen as a leader.
And also it's a great way to convey your message and have
Absolutely.
it be on, so video is one of the top media elements that I really encourage entrepreneurs to be using more of, because the concept with being in an online world is that you can pretty much have your information out there and be selling without you even being there. So like you could be making money while you sleep, and who doesn't want to make money while you sleep? But you're right. I do hear from a lot of small business owners that, ooh, the idea of them getting on camera or getting on video makes their skin crawl. So I am looking forward to learning, what is your three-step system? Can you kind of start leading us into what is the system that you've put into place that helps leaders overcome these fears?
Okay, so one of the things I've noticed as I've been working with people with mindset and really studying, you know, successful people and thinking about myself and my experiences, because honestly, a few years ago, I didn't feel comfortable in front of a camera either. And yet I'd been talking in front of people basically my entire life, but getting in front of that camera and spreading that message to maybe hundreds or thousands of people was a lot scarier than, you know, just speaking to maybe, you know, 10, 15, 20. So one of the things you really have to start to do is you have to, what is your goal? What is the end product that you want? And is it big enough to help you to overcome that fear? And we have to look at that in all areas of our life. You know, is that, are you passionate enough about it? You know, because when you're passionate enough, you're going to be more willing to move forward and to do the things that you need to do.
You know, I'm so sorry. I wanted to just jump in there because I actually have a talk myself that talks about the pressure. There's a proper level of pressure that we need in our business to compel us forward, just like a tire will roll better when it's got the proper air pressure in it. So same thing with our businesses. When there's a proper level of pressure being applied to us because of our purpose, like you were just explaining, it really does compel forward movement. So go ahead, go on.
You're exactly right there, Michelle, because, you know, if the goal isn't inspiring you, you're not going to do it. You know, it's just not going to happen. Or if it's something that, you know, you can accomplish, you know, if your goal is something you can accomplish without having to stretch or to grow, then, you know, you're not going to have that, you know, motivation behind you to get out and move forward. So that's the first thing. You have to have the right kind of goal. You have to have the right motivation behind it. But then you have to decide if you are the person that can do it. And that goes to self-image. The self-image of a person is so important. And, let's say you don't think you have anything worthy of saying to people. Well, you're not going to get on camera and say anything. So if your self-image is something that you just don't think you have anything of value to share with people, and regardless of whether you really do or not, but if you don't feel that you do, you're not going to go with that struggle. Fear it's a real thing. It's a feeling that you have. And when we understand what the mind's actually doing, when you have that fear, you're basically in bondage because you can't move. And that's, again, part of your self-image. You just can't move forward. But when you get an idea, let's say you have the idea that you have a message you need to share, and as long as it just stays in your conscious mind, it's just a pleasant thought once in a while, but nothing you're going to act upon. But as you start to feel like, okay, I have to do this, then you start to get very anxious. And that's when your body, starts to feel that fear. And it's a real reaction that you have. And so at that point, you have to make sure you have that self-image to the point where you're going to go ahead and move forward. And that's the third part. You have to play on a bigger stage. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone, because as long as you remain in your comfort zone, you're in bondage and you're not going to move forward.
They say that if you're comfortable, you're not growing.
That's right.
Right?
And there's a quote out there that the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. I forget who said that, but that's very true, because the very fear that we have, if we just go ahead and do it, then we have what we're really seeking.
So you covered some pretty big ones, and we're talking about the why, and then we're talking about the mindset to propel you to actually get over your own self-image issues or whatever your insecurities are that are keeping you from it. And then you have to dream real big, right? Wasn't that last one about the go bigger, go bigger, go bigger?
Yeah. You've got to play in a bigger stage. You can't stay where you are, because everything inside of you has gotten you to where you are today. But if you're going to go further, you're going to have to do different things.
Which taps into that whole, back to the very beginning, that purpose will apply the pressure, and you won't be able to be okay with just status quo. You're going to be constantly having this nagging internal thing that's saying, I should be doing more. I should be doing more. And so, Patty, do you have a system around helping entrepreneurs identify what their why is and what their insecurities are and how to help them overcome that? Is that what you do to help entrepreneurs?
That is exactly what I do. In the programs that I have and work with people, we first establish what their goal is and make sure they have the right kind of goal, because a lot of people don't have the right kind of goal that is going to inspire them. So that's the first thing that I work with people. And then we have to look at what's causing that. Sometimes we have to realize that most of our thoughts are in our self-image was formed before we were 6, 7, 8 years old. And so we have to go back and figure out, okay, so what is causing this? And sometimes there's a real breakthrough when people start to realize where they actually got some of these thoughts, because even though fear is a real bodily reaction, it's often irrational. When you start to peel back the onion, you start to see that it's an irrational thought pattern that probably was put in your mind when you were a child and before you really had any filter to decide whether that's something you accepted or not. And so we go through that, and then eventually we get to the point of, okay, how do we build the image of that person that we need to be, and how do we become that person so that we can achieve exactly what we want? And how do we overcome the fear that we have, and how to deal with it, so that, because once you push through a fear and you get to the other side, that's freedom.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you could use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revealio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at revealio.com, and together we will make your business come alive.
One of the things I can say that has helped me as an entrepreneur overcome a lot, I struggled big time with an inferiority complex. Like you would never know it today, because I seem like I'm very confident, but I really do. I tap into my purpose. I know I was called to step out and to lead and to inspire and encourage others to embrace technology and to use it to enhance human connection. But ultimately, I had to start hanging out with people who are doing it. I needed to be inspired on a regular basis that, yes, Michelle, you can do this. And I just want anybody that's listening or anybody that's watching the show right now to know that you can do this. That's why Tech with Heart exists. We want to provide that empowering community. We all grow alongside each other, right, Patty? Isn't that what you need to do, is hang out with people that are
exactly
doing it?
Right. Yeah, I spent the whole last week just being with people that want to move forward and dealing with people. And I was telling somebody just yesterday that I'm really an introvert. I can be very happy just being all by myself all day, but that's not going to help anybody else. And it's certainly not going to get my message out there, which is why I was camera reluctant for a while. You know, I had to become that person. I had to change the image of who I am. And yeah, just being around people is so important that have similar type goals.
Similar type goals that are actually doing it. They're overcoming their fear because it'll inspire you to move you to take action. It's great to be able to take imperfect action. You know, it's okay to fail. If you feel like, oh, I'm so afraid that somebody might judge me, it's okay. You know what? You're doing it, and you should be like big time slap up on the back. Good job, good job, good job, because it is you stepping outside of your comfort zone, doing what you've been told and instructed that this is what you need to do. And so taking imperfect action just gets you so much closer to being better at it. You got to get better by practicing. So that, you know, even just how you show up at a networking event is a great way to start practicing. Don't you agree, Patty?
Oh, I absolutely do agree. And one thing you just said, you know, the thoughts and the words you say to yourself, you know, the more you say you're afraid to do something, well, the universe is going to tell you that, yes, you are afraid, and it's going to keep you stuck. That's why people don't grow, is because they continue to have the same thoughts and words and actions. So, you know, you go to that networking event and you continue with the same, you know, thought patterns that you had before, maybe not talk to anybody, or, you know, being afraid to go up and speak to somebody new. And that's just a pattern that has to be overcome.
You know, I think that there's a lot of struggle too, in the sense that a lot of entrepreneurs don't know what to say. And so I just want to encourage you, in the day that we're in right now, where even short form video is really helping brands to gain recognition and build audience on platforms like Instagram. Even Facebook now allows you to do reels. You can share these short form videos on LinkedIn, create your own little YouTube channel, and you can also get on TikTok. Yes, you can succeed on TikTok as a business. You do not have to dance or be silly to grow an audience there. But what we're finding is that video is still by far king when it comes to media content that you can put out there 24/7 and have it relate to people on your behalf, because it's more or less you talking into the camera, talking to whomever is listening. So think about it as just a way for you to network, 24/7, right? You're able to connect with people. You can repurpose these videos on your website to help kind of explain perhaps why you want to offer this particular service and what the benefits are for getting involved. There's so many different ways to communicate your message. And so I just really encourage you, if you feel like this is something you want to do more of, please do. Come join the Tech with Heart Network. Reach out to people like Patty. Patty is amazing. She's super heart-centered, and she just genuinely wants to help you achieve your lifetime goal here. So whether it be a certain level of growth in your business or just want to step into your calling on a personal level. Patty, can you share with people how they can reach out to you?
Probably the easiest way would be just to email me at patricia@yourdreampower.com. Or, I will give you my phone number. You can text me, be easy way to get a hold of me at 717-372-2636.
Fabulous. So yes, go to techwithheartnetwork.com. Just join our community. You can join for free. We hang out together once a month in a live virtual meetup. And sometimes we even practice your introduction, like your 30-second, intro. That is a great way to just get started. It's all about how you overcome these fears, right, Patty? Can you tell us a little practical, like applicational exercise that people can step away from this interview and start working towards applying into their own life to overcome fear?
I would say the most important thing to do is to make a decision. Make a decision of what it is that you want. And if it's getting on camera, one of the easiest ways to start to feel comfortable on camera would be to maybe find a quote or a paragraph in a book that you can just share with somebody and then give them a short explanation. And that will start you on your way to feeling more comfortable in front of the camera until you get to the point where you can just talk.
So can you give us an example of what your little mantra is, or whatever quote that you would practice for yourself?
Well, I would take that one I gave you earlier, the cave you feared to enter holds the treasures that you seek, and just go into that and just say, here is what I'm looking for, and this is how you have to overcome that fear. And once you overcome the fear, then you will start to see the abundance coming back to you.
So the idea here is that you share little bits about yourself in every little video that you do that allows people to get to know you as a leader, your purpose behind why you do what you do, the benefits of your particular solutions, right? These are all things that you can be sharing. And the great way to start on video too is to go ahead and just answer one of the most common questions that you get on a regular basis, and just talk to people. Oh, I think it's so behind us now. We're in the day where we had to feel that anytime we came on video, it had to be this whole production. It is now so much more important for us to show our humanity when we do get on camera and allow people to relate to us. Speak directly into that camera. And that's another tip. I'm just going to leave a few tips here when it comes to showing up good on camera. And that is, when you are using a webcam or your smartphone, look into the lens of the camera. So this is me looking into the lens of the camera, and this is me looking at Patty. Now, I'm seeing her and I'm seeing her reaction, but for the ones that are watching the video, it doesn't resonate as well unless I'm looking at them directly. So keep that in mind too when you are on camera. And then when it comes to these Zoom windows that we're all in, I also recommend that you look at the screen in thirds. So there's thirds going horizontal, or they're tall. Anyway, you split the screen into thirds, and the same thing goes with on the way up. You notice that my head and Patty's heads are a little closer to the top, and our chest, we're just showing a little bit of our chest here. So that's a good framing versus this, when I go down and I only see my little head. So these are just little positioning tools that are also very helpful when it comes to showing up well on camera. And the same thing with your smartphone. If you're shooting, don't just let your nostrils and your eyeballs be showing on the screen, try and frame yourself well. And then also be, when you're on the mobile, be very conscious of how fast you're whipping things around, because those that are watching it from, watching the video, they could get a little dizzy. So these are just some tidbits, but I love what you're saying, Patty. And I love the fact that you actually will go and do a little deep dive into people's whys, and the mindset and how to overcome that fear, and then moving them into stepping onto bigger stages. So hopefully this has been very helpful for you, those that are turning in. Is there any last words you'd like to share, Patty?
I think you just have to look inside of you, because you have so much power inside of you. And so often we look at the surface of things instead of going deep inside. And when you can find that inner power, you can accomplish about anything you want.
Fantastic. We believe in you. So now it's time for you to believe in you. And so again, reach out to Patty if you're interested in learning a little bit more about unleashing this fear. Squelching the fear and unleashing your freedom. Hallelujah. Let's step into freedom. Your message matters. And so therefore, what you have to say, people are needing to hear. So think about it that way. If you're not on camera and you're not speaking, then you're not helping those that you were called to help. So I do encourage you to step up and reach out to Patty, join the Tech with Heart Network, grow alongside us. We're all here as heart-centered but very innovative entrepreneurs who want to help you excel in a digital environment. techwithheartnetwork.com. Here's to your success.